one of the beautiful benefits of this type of design is it can adjust to you where you are in your life. So instead of having to leave home and have to start all over and deal with the changes in your life, home is still home. It's your sanctuary.
Welcome to Biz Stories Shared, where storytellers share their inspiration, motivation, some disappointments, and how they applied the lessons that led them to success. Stories are gifts. Listen as these gifts are shared. Now, here is your host, Charlotte Plott.
Hello, storytellers. This is Charlotte Plott, and I am thrilled to bring you our guest today, Jeanette Knudsen. Jeanette, are you ready to be a storyteller?
I am.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear you on here today. Well, Jeanette is an award-winning interior designer located in Mesa, Arizona. Her company, Design for a Lifespan, specializes in design for aging and universal design, something that fits families as they grow and change. She is the only designer in the area to serve on the National Design for Aging Council for the American Society of Interior Designers. And Jeanette recently completed the Certified Living in Place Professional. And that gives her now the right to have, this is all in caps, CLIPP next to her name. Well, congratulations on that, Jeanette.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud to be able to say that I was able to complete that program. It's brand new, and it's an awesome program, so thank you.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, while Jeanette was in school, she watched her grandmother being forced to leave her beloved home for a senior rehabilitation facility. As a result, Jeanette decided to specialize in design for aging and universal design. Among her accomplishments, she designed a home newly purchased by an 88-year-old woman who cherishes her freedom to live next door to her daughter. Jeanette is an expert in how to continue to live in the homes of our choice as long as possible. Her gift is the ability to create a timeless look that anyone of any age would find beautiful as well as easy to live in. Well, Jeanette, I've given our listeners just a little summary about you, so will you take a minute and tell us more about you personally, because we want to get to know you better, and then give us an overview of your business.
Okay, awesome. And thank you for that wonderful intro. You make me sound good.
Awesome. You are good.
Well, let's see, a little bit about me. First off, I am a child of God, and let's see, my parents are still alive and with me, so I'm a daughter, and let's see, I'm a sister. I have 5 siblings, 5 brothers and sisters, and they're all special and unique in their own ways. They each have their own gifts. Let's see, a goal as a child is I always wanted to be a wife and a mother. So I am indeed a wife and a mother. My husband and I will be celebrating 40 years this summer.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And let's see, we have 2 grown sons, and my oldest son is married to a wonderful gal that I'm proud to call my daughter-in-law. And they have given us 2 grandsons. And let's see, what else is there to say about me? That's about it in a nutshell. I'm very much family-orientated, and family is important. Let's see, and you wanted to know a little bit about my company?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see. Design for a Lifespan is the name of my design firm, and it's specifically named, or I should say I specifically chose the name because it represents the type of design that speaks to my heart, which is I feel that our homes should be our homes throughout our entire lives, no matter what life throws at us. So I pay special attention to making sure that our homes follow us through our lifespan. So we can be very young and still work in the home, live in the home. Something happens to us, such as a broken leg or, the home is still home, no matter what life throws at us. And I just repeated that. That sounded so silly, but you can hopefully edit it out easily.
I can.
So basically what I want to say is, Design for a Lifespan is a business, or is a design firm that truly focuses on the individual, and I adjust the homes to follow the individual instead of the individual having to adjust to the home or have to leave because of an emergency or illness or, just home is home no matter what.
I just think that is such a rewarding career that you have, to be able to help people to stay in their homes, because it has to just be devastating to move out and well, for instance, to have to tell your parents maybe that it's time that they have to make a big adjustment like that. So I really think that's a wonderful opportunity that you're presenting to people.
Thank you. The other thing I didn't mention is this type of design also gives dignity and independence.
Oh, yes.
So if somebody falls and breaks a bone, they can say when they're going to move out, not their doctor, not their kids, or, an acquaintance of mine. She had to leave her home because of a drive-by shooting.
Oh.
And she ended up being paralyzed. And she came home to her 2-story home and never saw the upstairs again, and her 17-year-old son had to move.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so that's why. I do what I do. Yep.
Yeah, that's a very valid reason, that's for sure. Well, Jeanette, here at Biz Stories Shared, I'm going to start over myself.
Okay.
Jeanette, here at Biz Stories Shared, we start every show with our guest's favorite quote. Jeanette, what's your favorite quote, and how do you apply this to your everyday thinking?
Okay. So my favorite quote is, if you search for good, you will find favor. But if you search for evil, it will find you. And that comes from Proverbs 11:27. So this has two meanings for me. I can use it one of two ways, and I do it quite often. The first one is, since I was very young, I've always made it a point to seek the positive in a person and to never gossip about others. My motive is, if I can't say anything nice, I won't say anything at all. And that has served me very well. It allows me to build trusting relationships with my friends, family, clients, and colleagues. They know I will never speak negatively about them, and in return, I rarely hear anyone say anything bad about me. And then the second part of that is it speaks to attitude. So it's like, which am I going to be today? Am I going to be a buzzard who feeds off dead animals? Or am I going to be a hummingbird who consumes sweet vegetation?
That's a beautiful picture you painted. Thank you. Thank you for explaining it like that. It does give us a better image of what that quote really does mean, and I think that it's very eye-opening to all of us.
Thank you.
So thank you. No. Thank you for that. Well, Jeanette, you've shared some of the facets of your life being an award-winning interior designer, but along the way, you might have had just a whisper of discontent. We know when taking action, you either win or you learn something, and sometimes the lessons learned are more valuable than actions taken.
Sure.
Will you tell us one of the times that you just didn't get the results that you set out to achieve?
Well, I thought I could help my children avoid falling into our family history of substance abuse by being an exceptional mother to them. So to me, that meant, I did all the right things, such as being involved in their lives, knowing their friends and their families, taking parenting classes, volunteering at school and in their classrooms. I expressed my love and approval freely and often. Our oldest son has flourished, and he has followed a path that has led to success. and our youngest son fell into the world of addiction. So to say, I was devastated is an understatement. When that happened, my world just absolutely fell apart. And, from this experience, it has taught me that the choices we make are our own. I cannot change another person, only myself. So, I realized that I didn't fail as a mother. It was only in my thinking, that I could prevent my children from making poor choices.
Well, thank you for opening up and sharing that story. I know that it's really hard to relive those painful moments, and how wise of you to acknowledge that it wasn't your mothering style that reaped those results. It's something that it's the choice of the other person. And so good for you for holding your head up and believing that you are a good mother, knowing that you're a good mother, and continuing to still love both your children and being there for them when they need you.
Thank you.
And when we review every so often, it helps us to remember that we did learn lessons, and they help us to move forward. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I learned the most. Yes.
Well, what I want to do now, Jeanette, is go to the other end of the spectrum. Let's talk about a time in your journey when you had an aha moment, when you became aware of the new path that you wanted to travel. Take us to that moment when you had the light bulb go off, and take us through the steps that you took to turn that idea into success.
Okay. Well, my aha moment actually comes in the midst of our son's drug addiction. I realized that his choices would kill me if I allowed it. So for years, I had a dream of going back to school and to study and practice interior design. So, to save my sanity and to ease my heart that was just absolutely breaking, I took a huge leap of faith. And I decided to walk away from my retirement package. And, before I did that, though, I decided, I wanted to go back to school. And I enrolled in school to take design classes while I was still working. And I went ahead and took the leap. I took a look at what I was going to lose if I walked away from that package and just dove right into school. And, I enrolled into a local college that's exceptional in the design industry. So, anyhow, you talk about it being challenging. Not only was I dealing with addiction and broken family relationships, quitting my job, returning to school full time, and then not knowing how to use many of the required programs, computer programs, because it'd been years since I'd been in school, and all the homework. So you kind of get the picture that it was pretty messy and sometimes overwhelming. But, I discovered through all that I'm really strong and I'm resilient. So that's my aha moment, is in the midst of all that chaos, good things happened, and I'm a lot stronger than I thought.
Oh, well, good for you. That's a very inspiring story, because it just shows you are resilient and strong, and you didn't let all those new challenges frighten you and keep you from going for your dream. I'm really happy that you just kept pursuing that.
Thank you. Me too.
Well, I'm going to ask you to bring us to the present time and to share your proudest entrepreneurial moment.
My proudest would be the redesigning of the historic home that meets the current and future needs of an 88-year-old woman who's living next door to her daughter. So that was a dream project, is to be able to take the expertise that I have and put it into this wonderful woman's home And, to walk into this home, you would not know that the design features I put into the home is for an 88-year-old woman. It's just a beautiful, peaceful place that works seamlessly for this woman. She's now in her 90s.
Oh, my.
But, she's got the reassurance to know that whatever she needs, she can still live in that home until she decides it's time to go.
Right.
So,
well, that has to be just your crowning glory, to be able to help that lady stay in her home, where she's content and comfortable and right by her daughter.
Yeah.
I love that picture.
Yeah, I want to do more of those. So
I don't blame you. Well, people really want to hear the stories like yours and how you are making your business a success, how your business helps others to thrive, and that 88-year-old lady certainly is thriving right now. So would you tell us one thing that is really exciting you in your business right now?
Well, let's see. I actually have two.
Okay.
But the one thing that is really exciting is when I was in school, they did a beautiful job teaching us how to do the design aspect, but they didn't teach us the business end of it.
Oh.
So when I left school, I didn't have I didn't know how to run a design business. I didn't have the business skills. So I've enrolled into a 12-month program that is called Strategic Business Transformation, and they call it STB for short. Okay. So I'm 6 months into that, and I just wish I'd done it sooner. There are so many things on the business aspect that, I did not know or wasn't aware of. Sometimes the creative side doesn't always gel well with the, more technical side.
Right.
So this has been a good bridge, and I'm really excited to finish up the next 6 months. And and then the second thing is I'm just in the beginning stages of helping a gentleman who is in Taiwan right now working, and we're going to redo his home. He has special needs, and he's going to be retiring back to the valley. So I'm working long distance with him to get his home ready for him when he retires in May. So that's an exciting thing that's up and coming.
Oh, I should say so. And so you can do that long distance then?
Yes. I've even done a home for a gentleman who lives in Montana. So, yeah, I can help people all over the nation and world.
I bet all over the world. Well, good for you. That's really incredible. I never would have thought that.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing what we can do with the internet and all of our electronic capabilities. So that's a true blessing.
Good for you. Jeanette, what is the best business advice that you've ever received?
When I was interning, while I was still in school, I interned with a designer, and she had said to me that as an interior designer, I would spend 80% of my time on business and 20% on design. Well, my reality is it's 95% on business and 5% is design.
Really?
Yeah. So knowing this, gave me a realistic idea about what the future would look for me in this business. So that was the best piece of advice I'd ever received. And then, knowing that information, that's when I, thought, that strategic business transformation program would really be beneficial, especially since I'm a businesswoman, a businesswoman and a business owner more than I am a designer.
Right. Did that bother you when you thought about having to spend that much time on the business rather than in the creative world?
When I graduated from school, I had expected to be working for a design firm or for a designer. I never anticipated being a business owner. So because I was equipped with that knowledge, when I opened up my doors for my business, I realized at that time that that's what I was facing.
Oh.
So I worked in the banking industry for 20 years, so I do have some business behind me in the corporate America, not as an entrepreneur. That's a whole different animal. But no, I mean, it took a little bit of time to adjust to it, but knowing in advance that that's the reality, it's not that painful.
Wasn't devastating to you then. Oh, that's good. No. Well, what is the vision of the future of your business?
Well, I would like to be a company that causes a positive ripple effect that is felt, by our clients and our vendors, our families, and our community. And if we were to close our doors, we would be missed. That's what I would like to achieve, is to, just be a positive ripple that we're missed if we leave.
I really like the way you phrase that. You got to use that in your marketing material. That was good.
Oh, thanks.
Well, Jeanette, can you share one of your personal habits that you strongly believe contributes to your success?
Well, before I begin anything, like, for example, going back to school, I take a look at the big picture and I analyze it. And I ask questions like, what do I want? Why am I doing this? How do I get to the end result? What do I need to do? And who will it affect? And then I go for it, and I don't give up.
Wow. Those are very powerful questions. Good for you.
Thank you.
Jeanette, do you have an internet resource to share with our listeners which helps your efficiency, like Evernote and Storytellers? You will find the links to these sites in the show notes of today's episode at bizstoryshared.com. Jeanette Knudsen.
I actually have 3.
Okay.
I have Evernote, and Evernote goes everywhere I go. I can keep notes, files, documents all in one place, and then easily access it in the cloud. My second one is Basecamp. It allows me to easily work on projects with others, and it's an easy way to keep track and stay on top of a project, timelines, and who's working on what. And the third one is Lead Pages. Lead Pages helps me produce professional and efficient landing pages. And it's an avenue that gives me the opportunity to give away. I've got a lot of free, valuable resources that I like to give away. So this works. It's a really good platform to build my landing pages on, and then, I can put it on my website, emails, social media, text. So it's a pretty powerful program.
Great. It really impresses me. You just sound like you've been in that business world for 100 years, not just a new beginner, and giving people something free. There's that saying that you have to give to get. And
absolutely.
Sounds to me like you're doing that. You've learned that lesson.
I have indeed.
Good for you. Would you describe for us who are perfect referrals for your business? By that I mean business associates or clients that the listeners know who would benefit from doing business with you.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Let's see. Mature, and when I say mature, 45 and plus, homeowners who want a forever or last home. So it's what I call a toe tag home, meaning they aren't leaving until they are taken out in a body bag. So these are individuals who want or need to remodel or to update their homes, kitchens, bathrooms, that kind of thing. And so, yeah. So I want to be known as the toe tag home specialist.
All right. If you could recommend just one book to our listeners, what would it be?
May I recommend 2?
You bet.
Okay. So the first one would be The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And in a nutshell, this particular book talks about simple daily disciplines that we do. And, it's simply simple reproductive action repeated consistently over time. And, how those simple decisions can either make or break our future. And then another one I just read that I find fascinating is by Sally Hogshead, and it is called Fascinate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about how to capture the attention of a distracted world, and it teaches us how our brand or our business can become impossible to resist.
I like both of those.
Yeah.
I like those. I have truly enjoyed listening to your journey and the stories that you shared. So would you please share one more time how we can get in touch with you and any other resources that you want us to have, and then we'll say goodbye.
Great. Well, the best place to reach me is on my website, which is www.designforalifespan.com. I am also very, very active on Facebook, so please head on over to Facebook. My business page is Design for a Lifespan, and if you can't find it, you can always look me up personally. And like my business page, there I also offer all the time my free resources, and then I also share some valuable articles and things that I find on the internet that I think will help other people and my clients. So that's the best way to reach me.
Great. Good. Very good resources. Thank you for that. And thank you for being so generous with your time, expertise, and sharing your experiences. Okay, listeners, you can find the links to these resources and everything that we've been chatting about in today's episode by going to bizstorieshared.com. Jeanette Knudsen. Thank you again, and goodbye, Jeanette.
And thank you so much, Charlotte. I enjoyed our time together.
I did too, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Give the storyteller some love. Go to bizstorieshared.com, click on the iTunes button, and give a 5-star review. Thanks.